Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Misunderstood Show. Today we have a special guest, Jason Mayo. He's a realtor here in Conroe area. He's, you're not from Texas, right?
I'm from Houston.
You're from Houston.
Yeah.
But you've lived a bunch of places.
Yeah, I lived all over.
Yeah, he's lived all over the place. He was in the military. We just had Veterans Week last week, Veterans Day, Veterans Week, right?
Well, it starts with the Marine Corps birthday and then Veterans Day, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, I had a Marine on last week.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I want you to meet him. He's a great guy. He's a great lender. But yeah, so we're gonna talk to Jason today about his story and his why and his take on the market right now.
Okay.
Which is interesting. I haven't had a realtor on in a while. I don't think I've ever had a realtor on one-on-one. Well, no, I take it back. I had Kyler on.
Yeah.
But we talked a lot about Kyler's story. We didn't talk a lot about the market. He's long-winded. So if you ask him a question, it takes a while. I love him to death. He's got a great personality and a great story, but I want to have him back on to kind of get more information.
Usually when we're around, he usually does all the talking.
Yeah. So. He's nice. I like him. But anyway, yeah. So tell me, you were born and raised in Houston?
I was born in Houston, in Friendswood, and then we moved to Dallas when I was probably 6, maybe. No, okay. I was 2. Sorry, I moved to Dallas when we were 2, and I think I moved to Maryland when I was 8.
Okay.
So I grew up in Maryland, outside of Annapolis. And then when I was 18, graduated high school. Very next day, went in the Marine Corps, did that for a little bit, traveled all around.
What made you decide to join the Marine Corps?
I don't know. According to my parents, I think they said I always wanted to join. So maybe I saw like a cool commercial, where the guy's like slaying this dragon with the sword or whatever. But always wanted to join. So I enlisted the first day I was able to, when I think I was a junior or something like that in high school. So I stayed in the
18.
What's that?
Did you turn 18 when you were a junior?
No, you can join. I think like a full year out from when you turn 18 or from when you ship out. So I joined as soon as I could. I was there for a year while I was finishing high school, and then a day after I graduated, went to boot camp in South Carolina.
Ship you off quick. They don't want you to change your mind.
Yeah, I was like ready to go. I didn't want to go party and all that stuff. I was already kind of doing a bunch of that when I was in school.
Shaved your head.
Yep, shaved my head.
Where did you go to boot camp?
Parris Island, South Carolina.
Okay.
That's where real Marines go. All the Hollywood Marines go to California.
Right. San Diego.
Yeah. So went there. I was an infantryman. So I did 21 years, just retired in 21. So traveled all around, lived all over the place.
And you're in infantry the whole time?
I was in the infantry the whole time, yep.
Okay. Other than obviously carrying a gun and defending the country.
That's a lot of it.
Yeah. But you were stationed here in the United States.
Yeah, my first duty station was, I was in Hawaii, which was great, being 18 years old.
That's the one good thing about Marines. I know a lot of Marines that have been stationed in Hawaii, and I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was good. Spent a lot of my money, but
it's expensive, right?
Oh yeah, super.
They said
expensive.
It's like $6 or $8 a gallon, or probably way more now. But back then, it was like $6 or $8 a gallon.
I don't remember how much it was for gas.
No, for like milk.
I remember cigarettes were like $5 a pack back then. I don't know what they are now. I don't smoke anymore, but
they're
at
like
the time,
$10 a pack, I think.
Oh,
now.
really? People are still smoking.
I don't think many people smoke anymore.
Okay.
I think everybody's vaping now.
Probably just as expensive, maybe.
I think so. My friend, she said she bought a vape recently, and she paid like $40 for it.
Really?
for a vape. But she's like, oh, it'll last a long time. And I'm like, that's a lot of money. I mean, even my husband dips, so he just made a deal with the kids about quitting. So
I feel like that's a little bit of a better investment, dipping.
It's like $10 a can. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how much it is. I don't buy it, but I know it's crazy expensive.
I got on these Zins for a little while. I don't know if he does those.
Everybody talks about the Zens.
But,
Do they work good? Did
I
you
don't-
used to dip?
I used to dip.
Okay.
Used to chew, used to dip, loved it, still do. But I quit. My wife doesn't love it as much as I do. So
Nobody
I quit.
loves it. It's gross.
No, it's totally gross. So I quit.
It's better than smoking, though.
When did I quit? I probably quit smoking and dipping in 2016. So then I got put on these Zins at a real estate event by one of my buddies who had some. I was like, let me try one of these out. Tried them out. Like, I think I'm just like addicted to the habit, I would say. So I would
Right.
have them in all day long. I'd get up in the morning,
A lot
put
of people,
one
they
in.
have to like have suckers or candy. It's just like a mouth thing.
Yeah, that's probably what
Gum.
it is. So I'd have them in all day long. Right before I go to bed, I would just take one out like 9 o'clock at night. So I don't think it was the healthiest thing.
What
So-
is
so I
the Zen
quit.
exactly? What's in it?
It's nicotine, and then maybe to coconut fiber or something is like the filler.
And it's like in a
like a
tea
little pouch.
bag. It's like a tea bag type thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the
Kind of,
closest
it's
way
kind
to
of like a
describe
tea
it.
bag, right?
Yeah. So
The
similar.
material.
Yeah, it's like a cloth, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I quit doing that. But yeah, to get back to, I was in Hawaii for 4 years. It was great. Did a lot of partying. I was kind of surprised by being in the military. You think you're like you said, carrying a gun and marching around, stuff like that all the time. We had a lot of fun
Yeah.
in Hawaii. Got to go
I
out a
know
lot.
they do that too.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably.
Getting tattoos.
I think that's where I got most of my tattoos.
Yeah, I feel like the Marines and the Army and the Navy, they all get tattoos, especially the Navy, dude. Those guys will get like tons of arm tattoos.
Their tattoo restrictions are a little looser than ours are.
Oh.
So
That's why they get all these tattoos.
they can get them on their hands, I think, and
The
their
Army,
neck. Yeah, we have the Marine Corps has the worst tattoo restrictions.
Oh, even compared to the Air Force?
I don't even know what they're like.
I don't see Air Force people a lot with tattoos, but that's usually because they're like it's a different breed.
I don't know a whole lot of Air Force veterans. I know a few.
See, I know mostly Air Force people because I grew up in San Antonio area.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Air Force bases. And in Austin, there was Bergstrom there growing up, which is closed now.
The majority of all my relatives were all Air Force.
That's mine too. So I have my granddaddy, my uncle, all my
Yeah.
cousins. Everybody was Air Force. I have a cousin who was a Navy, and then one other cousin who was Army because she got in trouble and had to go in the Army because that's what happens.
Yeah.
They
They're a
say
little more,
you can go to jail or pay all these fines, or you can go in the Army and have it expunged from your record, and that's what the Army does for people.
yeah.
That's why when you go to like Army stuff, there's a lot of wild people.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, I feel like the Air Force is a little more straight edge than the other branches.
Yeah, there's a lot of more nerdy people in the Air Force.
Probably definitely a little
Oh, I
more,
know.
a little smarter.
I have them in my family.
So,
No, I mean, I'm serious. Like my cousin's like Sheldon Cooper.
yeah.
He's very intelligent, and not athletic.
I got a cousin. He's in the Air Force too. He I think he like builds jet engines or designs jet engines or something. He's pretty smart
They
guy.
do like cool stuff like that. So my cousin was in Abilene for a long time, and then he helped design technology for radar detection, and so now he works in Detroit. He's out of the Air Force. He works in Detroit for like car companies.
Okay.
With the detection for like not bumping into other cars,
Yeah.
lane detection stuff like
That's pretty
that.
cool.
I think I don't know. He hangs out in comic book stores. He's my age.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't do anything cool like that.
and then my other cousin, he finally left the Air Force, and he was deployed a lot. He worked in like intelligence or something. Very smart, really awesome guy. Not socially awkward, which a lot of those guys are, right?
Yeah.
He just got a job with MIT, I think. Is it MIT?
College?
Yeah, like doing some kind of,
Yeah.
I don't know. They do really smart stuff. So, not me.
Yeah. I didn't do any of that. I wanted to get my goal when I went in. I told the recruiter I wanted to go to the Naval Academy. So growing up in Maryland, I was pretty familiar with it. But in school, I wasn't the most like astute student. All I wanted to do was like join the military. So I was like, whatever it takes to graduate, I'm just going to do that.
Right.
And then I'll get in. But I told him, I was like, I want to go to college, go to the Naval Academy. He's like, well, you don't have good grades for that. So what you can do is you can enlist, and then you can apply to go to the Naval Academy after you're already in. It's like, okay, cool, I'll do that, because like you don't have any volunteer service, you aren't like a Boy Scout or any of the stuff you kind of need to be.
I have tried so hard to get my boys to finish Scouts and get their Eagle Scout, and they just, man,
They don't like it?
my 6-year-old is just done. He's wanting to be a cool kid, and
Yeah. So my cousin was my cousin that's in the Air Force, an Eagle Scout. I think he might have been.
We had a really awesome troop before we moved here in Central Texas. That's really like common. A lot of people are in Scouts, and there's athletes in Scouts, and there's cool parents in the Scouts. And then we moved here, and we joined a couple troops here, and
I was like,
I can't really blame him, because I mean, some of the kids were just really, for high schoolers, they were very immature, just running around, picking their nose, screaming and hollering and wanting to wrestle all the time. My son's like, y'all are acting like a bunch of children. Like, he wants to be cool and just get his stuff done. Like, he just wants to learn. He's there to like learn how to tie knots. He's there to learn how to do this. And he would. A lot of these kids had never been outdoors before, really. And so he was like helping kids catch their first fish, and he gets a lot of enjoyment out of that. But I think it was too hard for him to put up with the chaos.
I don't blame him for that.
I think too, the troop, like, it depends on the leaders in the troop. So they were just letting these kids just run around like wild animals. Where we came from a troop, it was very structured and very military, and they had to be quiet, and they had to sit there, and it was like serious.
Yeah.
And it was huge. So we had like 130 kids in our troop, and then this other one only had like 15. So, see what I'm saying? So it was just like like they were so organized, and they went on these big trips. And so when you move, and we couldn't find one here, he's just like, I'm out. And now I'm like, man, because he's like, I kind of want to go in the Coast Guard. What's the Coast Guard like? What do you know about the Coast Guard?
Not a whole lot, to be honest. They're a part of Department of Homeland Security, so
Right.
they don't fall underneath DOD. So someone told me that their boot camps are pretty hard because they have different restrictions and stuff.
I've heard that they try to drown you.
But it's probably good for you.
'Cause they have to do like deep sea rescues and stuff.
Yeah.
They do that in Navy SEALs too.
I think I told my son he should have went in the Coast Guard. He's in the Marines now,
But I just feel like they won't get deployed, or
well, yeah, they don't go
do
anywhere.
occasionally get deployed, but a lot of them become like firemen or stuff like
Most
that.
of the stuff I know about the Coast Guard
EMS.
is all their bases are all on the coast. It's in the name.
Right.
So you're probably going to be in a good spot on the water if you like the water.
That's why he wants to do it, because he wants to buy a boat and do what is it called?
Deep sea fishing?
Yeah, like he wants to be a captain.
Like a charter, fishing charter.
He wants to do chartering. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
It's like his dream to move to Florida and charter boats.
Yeah, how bad can that be?
Well, I told him, like, people aren't going to pay you to do that. They're not going to trust you if you just come out of high school and go buy a boat. Like, if you went into, like, the Coast Guard, you could learn how to operate a boat and rescue people. They're going to trust you a lot more.
Yeah.
To take them and their family out, like, in the middle of the ocean. Right? You got to have some experience.
Maybe you should get him a boat and let him go tool around on the lake.
Well, I bought him a John boat. We had that for a while.
Yeah.
But we just weren't going that much. We don't really like the lakes here, to be honest. They're not our favorite. We're from the hill country, so it's beautiful and nice, and the water's beautiful, and
Well, I feel like the lake here is pretty rough.
it's gross.
That's one of the Lake Conroe is one of the cleanest lakes in Texas.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
You need to explore.
No, I read those reports. They put these reports out.
Who made the report?
I don't remember, but they said because the Sam Houston Forest on the north side of it, it acts as a natural filter and it cleans a lot of the water out.
Well, maybe as far as like toxins, maybe. I don't know. I come from the land of you can see the bottom of the lake.
That just means it's clear, not that it's clean.
It's clean because it's clear.
Maybe there's a bunch of chemicals in there.
No, I don't know. It's all aquifer water. It's all spring fed. Like the Como River in New Braunfels is spring fed aquifer.
Well, don't get me wrong.
Lake
This
is-
isn't the cleanest lake in Texas. It's just
Yeah.
it's one of the cleaner ones. So maybe all the ones in Central Texas are top in the list.
I would assume so. Yeah, because it's like rock. It's all limestone rock there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of aquifers, a lot of spring fed rivers and streams and lakes.
How do they keep it clean?
I mean, it flows out and new water comes through.
Okay.
It's constantly moving. Where I feel like Conroe is like a sitting muddy pond.
No, when it rains, they just flood the rest of the neighborhoods here.
That is true. They try to stop it.
Keeps the water clean, yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Maybe
Alligators go
that's-
everywhere.
yeah.
Next thing you know, there's like, some neighborhood with an alligator running around.
Maybe
We
that's
don't
just...
have alligators back home. We don't have to worry about that.
Alligator's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe that's their trick. They're like, oh, the lake's getting dirty. Let's flood River Plantation and clean the lake out a little bit.
I don't even know why people move there. Kyler said he lived in River Plantation growing up.
Yeah, he used to live there for a while. Did he live there? 2 different houses there? I don't remember, but yeah, he lived there for a while.
He said he grew up there. I'm like, my son kept sending me, when we were looking for a house, he kept sending me stuff in there. These mansions for like no money. And I'm like, there's a reason, honey.
Yeah, the first listing I ever had was in River Plantation, and it had flooded. The owner actually had a lawsuit with the HOA, so he had like a lien for like $4,000 or something because he lost his lawsuit with the HOA. But then I saw it was on the market again. Somebody called me about it, and it had like 12 feet of water from that last storm that we
A lot of people
had.
that have never flooded before, in areas that have never flooded this last time.
Well, that's why the guy sued the HOA, because there's all these like culverts and stuff in the back. And where he lived at this dead end street, people would go dump all their trash there.
So it's blocking.
So he said
water
that they
flow.
weren't maintaining the culverts, and that's what caused his house to flood, because he's kind of right at the end of a street where all the water flows down.
He could be right.
So
It's hard to win against an HOA.
he didn't.
Yeah, I've heard people trying to sue HOAs, they never win.
I could probably see that.
It's very rare. Yeah,
Do you have an HOA where you're at?
yeah. We're in the
Yeah,
Woodlands,
we do too.
Alden Bridge. Yeah. So HOAs are fun. Make sure when you want to sell your house, and get your agent to call the title company, get the HOA docs pulled early.
Yeah.
And
I
then
usually
put in-
go on hoa.texas.gov, and you can put the HOA name in there, and it'll give you all the
Most of the time.
fees and stuff if they're in
Yeah.
there.
But you can call us, we'll do it for you.
Okay.
So you don't have to do it yourself at all. So we'll pull
That'll
property
work for me.
profiles, HOAs, see if there's liens. So we're pretty good. We like to open title early. I think it prevents a lot of issues down the road. So you get now if it's out of county, some of these little podunk counties, the little ones, they won't let us open title until we have a contract, which is silly. But they don't want to do any work until you have a contract, because they want to make sure they make money. I'm like, but the contract could fall out either way. At least what I like is that you open title early, find out if there's issues. Some people are like, oh, I know them, they don't have issues, and then there's an issue. Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't know that the previous owner had a mechanics lien that nobody saw from a previous title company. And sometimes things just get missed, or maybe they didn't put it on there until after the house was sold. So file it, right? So you don't know. Anything can pop up. Child support liens from a brother. We had a guy that didn't go through a title company and bought out all his siblings when the parents died. And they did it very fairly, but they didn't go through a title company. They just had it probated. And when he went to go sell the house, his brother had like $150,000 in child support liens. So,
I didn't know they could put a lien on your house for unpaid child support.
oh, they do it all the time.
Jeez.
We see them a lot.
Don't tell Clint Eastwood's kids.
I don't think he has child support liens.
So
I think he has enough money to pay child support.
he's just paying it. Yeah.
There's a max child support, so it's not that much, and so I'm sure he can afford it.
Okay. Maybe that's why he does all these new movies. He's like, oh, I got some child support payments I need to pay.
Yeah. So when I say it's not a lot for somebody like him. It might be a lot for somebody like, that doesn't make $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
But it goes on your pay, obviously. It goes by your pay. People should just pay their child support. If you have children, you should take care of them. I mean, that's
Just don't get divorced.
Well, don't say that, because sometimes you have to get divorced.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to, right?
There's a phrase, what is it? Cheaper to keep her.
It's cheaper to keep her.
That's not always true.
I guess it depends on how much money you got.
Let's ask Dick. Is it cheaper to keep her, Dick? No. Certain situations, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
God, Karen, you always call me out on the show.
Get it for free.
That's what they say, right? Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? That's
Yeah.
what I thought you were
But she
initially
was
going to
spending his money and kind of scamming him. So,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes you just got to let it go.
Just got to do a prenup. Would you do a prenup?
Me?
Yeah.
I didn't have any money when I met my ex.
Yeah, more reason I feel like to do one.
Yeah, I was a free bird. I was wanting to travel the world and be a photographer, and I quit my insurance job. And
It's never too late.
yeah, one day when the kids are gone,
Yeah.
my life just took a different direction, and I'm really grateful that I have my kids.
But you're getting there. You're getting close.
8, maybe 10 more years. I
getting
mean,
there.
it just depends. They go to college sometimes, and sometimes they don't leave as soon as they graduate. So then you got to pay for college or get them on their feet.
Well, I hear you. My youngest is 16, and I can't wait for him to get out of the house.
Yeah, I'll be probably getting a discount. I'm sure I'll be getting a discount everywhere I go by the time my kids leave.
I was trying to tell my wife, I was like, soon as my youngest son's name is Jacoby, I was like, soon as he graduates high school and like gets a job and a place to live, we should like move out of here and get out of here.
So that's what my husband and I are talking about doing as soon as they graduate, because my stepdaughter and my son are in the same grade.
Yeah.
Hence why we live in the Woodlands, because that's where their mom lives, and we want them to all be in the same school. Just logistically is easier. We tried to not live, like, we wanted to live in the country, but it just wasn't practical, the logistics with all the activities in school and then forgetting stuff at their moms. And my husband is very involved with his kids, and so yes, I talk with my hands.
That's
Even
all right.
if I'm behind a desk, I have to sit on my hands. I'm always like, doo-doo-doo. But so, you know, when we have kids graduate, the last ones, we've told them, like, we're going to be at Cynthia Woods in our U-Haul in the parking lot after you graduate and walk the stage. We're leaving.
Straight to the car. We're out of here.
I mean, that's the plan.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun plan. And we'll just hightail it, because my husband's family owns farms in West Texas.
Yeah,
and
you're telling me
so-
that.
Yeah, so we want to move out there and start I want to buy some land out there too as well, like hopefully by the lake somewhere, and maybe have some boat storage and teepees and yurts, and
That'd be pretty cool.
I think it would be fun. It's flat, so there's like UFO sightings apparently. So you're talking about the UFO
Yeah.
thing. You know, there's a lot of stuff coming out now from the government and all these military people in the Air Force especially.
Is that where people go as Marfa to watch for like UFOs?
Marfa, Big Bend is real popular. Kyler loves Big Bend. We talked a whole
Yeah.
lot about Big Bend. That's
I've
an
been out there.
amazing.
I just heard there's some place in Texas, I thought, where it's
West
like out in the middle of nowhere.
Marfa.
There's like no lights. There's no light pollution. These people just go out there and camp out, and there's supposed to be all these
There's a-
UFO sightings and
But
stuff.
it's all over West Texas. I mean, you get towards New Mexico, where
Yeah.
it's flat. There's just a lot of sightings there, a lot, and so a lot of video.
Interesting.
So
What do you think's keeping them out of Houston?
the pollution.
Probably a good idea. The lake's not clean enough.
I mean, we have Sasquatch in the forest, so
Have you ever seen one?
I witnessed something. I guess without seeing it, I've smelled him and had him throw rocks on my roof. So my very first episode on the show
Yeah.
is I have a guy on the show that he's an attorney. He works for our underwriting department, and he made a report back in 2016. And
Okay.
like a legit,
Out here.
Yeah, in Wood Forest. It's called Bigfoot in Wood Forest. You should listen to it.
Okay.
It had my most views. And so there's still people like my reels, like that's the most views, thousands
Where
of
do
views.
he saw it or what?
He saw him twice running,
Where at?
chasing deer through Wood Forest.
No way.
Back then, there wasn't any houses in Wood Forest. He was like a first settler.
Bigfoot was.
Bigfoot was there. And then I lived in Montgomery out on 2 acres, and we had a lot of land around us. We didn't
Yeah.
really have neighbors. It was pitch black.
Where do you think they go?
I don't know. In the woods.
Yeah, I mean, like if they're getting pushed
Never
out,
saw
where
a
are they
stray
going?
cat, so ever. The whole 2 years I lived there.
Maybe the Bigfoot's just eating the cats.
Yeah, I think so. Who knows? Dogs, cats.
Yeah, interesting.
But there's scientific evidence, and there's government funded agency. We had a like a scientist has his doctrine, come to Lions Club and talk, and I need to get him on the show. I need to follow up with him because he was like, yeah. They have found like teeth and hair and fragments, but according to what they've seen by the teeth is that they are cannibalistic. So they eat the bodies when they die.
I don't blame them for that.
Well, that's why they don't find any bodies.
Bones and all.
So like,
Bodies of what?
They
eat each other's?
Yeah, they're cannibals. So
Okay.
like if you go to like these tribes that are cannibalistic, like in Africa or the Amazon, stuff like that, there's cannibalistic tribes. They eat the bones and everything.
Are they considered, what is, I don't even know what the species, are they just considered Bigfoots? Are they like pack animals or what?
Well, I mean, down here they call them Sasquatch, Bigfoot. Sasquatch, I guess, is the more scientific term. I don't know.
Like
but then if you go to like
name.
Canada, like all the way up, there's a lot of stuff up in Washington is huge for Yetis. It's Yetis.
That's just like a snow version though, right? It's an Arctic Sasquatch.
Abominable snowman.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. Yeah. So I think there's things on this planet we just don't really know or understand.
Why do you think they don't come out more often?
It's like the aliens. I think they come out. I think they're in hiding. They don't want us to hunt them. I think they're more intelligent than we give them credit for.
I mean, probably.
We used to have some people that lived in West Texas and Coleman. Shout out to my Coleman people. They'll verify there are people that live there that they were like completely hairy from head to toe, like wolf people, and they were like they would come in the town once in a while and get food and stuff and then go back out. And,
What do you mean that go in the grocery store?
You know, like people like back in the day
Or they're
when
like
we used to have like
dumpster diving or
circuses
whatever.
and stuff. No,
Yeah.
they would go to the grocery store and stuff. But I mean, like the women, everything had like beards. They were like completely hairy,
Okay.
like hairy, like
Interesting.
Teen Wolf. They looked like Teen Wolf, and so I don't know. But my great uncle, he told me 20 years ago that there was aliens. He'd seen them. He was in the Air Force, and he'd been to Area 51, and they were living in the bottom of the ocean. And now they're saying, literally, they're living in the bottom of the ocean. And now Antarctica, if you do all this research about Antarctica, there's tons of evidence that there's something living there in vessels that fly out of Antarctica. And then you have the Bermuda Triangle and the Alaskan Triangle, and there's all these military people that talk so much about seeing stuff.
So do you think they've captured an alien?
He says he's seen the bodies.
They're just dead alien
And this man
bodies
read the
in there?
Bible every day. He did not lie.
I feel like if you read the Bible, you have to believe aliens.
I don't know.
What would an angel be?
Well, see, that's what he said. He said that he thinks that there are angels and demons living among us, and they live in the bottom of the ocean. They live in these vessels. They live in the earth.
Okay. I could get behind that.
See?
I just want to see one.
Have you seen The Knowing with Nicolas Cage? It's kind of like something like that. And they come and they take all the children into these vessels and they go back, I guess, into the ground, and then they wipe out the earth and start over and put the kids back on earth.
No, is this a new movie?
No, it's old.
Oh.
Old.
I'd go-
90s.
I'd go watch
early
it.
2000s.
That sounds
The
interesting.
Knowing. I don't know. I thought it was interesting after he told me that. And then
Yeah.
I saw that movie and I was like, what? That's kind of weird.
So if they have these aliens, what do you think they're doing with them?
I don't know. People talk about being abducted and poked and prodded and just weird stuff. My brother said he was abducted in Florida one time.
You leave them?
He passed away, so I can't ask him. But when I started like freaking out, he like, oh, I'm just kidding. Like he took it back.
Oh.
But I almost felt like he freaked out because he didn't want me to act like he was crazy.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Like and that's I think a lot of reason that people don't talk about their experiences is because whether it's Bigfoot, aliens, whatever it might be, chupacabra,
Yeah.
you know, the chupacabra they've really debunked that it's a hairless coyote that has like skin disease.
Okay.
So that's what it
Have
goes
you seen
rabid.
what's that show on the History Channel? There's a ranch, Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh yeah,
What do you think about that?
I don't know. Demons. Who knows?
And they're just like sucking the blood
Because
out of cows.
it says in the Bible that angels can take form on this planet. So if you want to go by what the Bible says, so nothing in the Bible has ever been debunked, ever. That's proven. Nothing's been debunked, ever. Nothing's in the Bible has ever been proven to be wrong. 100%.
Yeah, so if you believe in the Bible, why
But
wouldn't you believe in aliens?
But there's so many scientists that have proven that there's so many things in the Bible that correlate with archaeology and history and other societies on Earth that have told these same stories in their own way, with the flooding with Noah and just different stuff. They're like, well, so there's more scientists. You know, you always think that scientists are probably going to not believe in God. But more scientists believe in God than you think, because they're like, whoa, this is proving it. So if you believe in the Bible and you believe what the Bible says, and, you know, obviously it's been translated and rewrote and by people, and so it's not going to be, I don't know, 100%, I don't know, but nothing's been debunked. It says that angels and demons can take human form, which would explain so much about our government.
Yeah, I mean, I've met some crazy people.
They talk about these lizard people and stuff. You know, maybe they're the demons that have taken human form.
It's possible.
Right?
What do you do then?
I mean, you just have to have faith. You got to pray for our country and spread the word of Jesus so that we have more Christians than we do evil people.
Okay, that's fair enough.
You know, and have an open mind. We just watched the red one yesterday with that new Santa movie.
The new one, yeah.
And I love this part where it's The Rock, you know, he just is like going to retire because, have you seen it yet?
No.
Or you saw the preview?
Is it a sequel?
No, it's just a movie.
I thought they made a movie that was similar to that. But anyways, go ahead.
I don't know, maybe.
He's what, Santa's bodyguard? That's the premise?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he says, you know, he just doesn't, they show him like looking at all of these horrible things going on. Santa wants to go to the mall and play Santa just once, you know, before Christmas, because he just loves the children. And he's his bodyguard, and he's just like looking around at all these horrible people. And that's all he sees. And he can't see the good in people anymore. And so he kind of loses his, you know, so he's going to retire as his bodyguard, kind of giving it away a little bit. But at the end, I'm giving it away. But
yeah, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear the end, don't listen. Like, shut it down for like 5 seconds. He sees the good in people again in the end, and he sees their inner child.
Okay.
So I was like, that's kind of cool. Like, if we were just to look at all these adults as children still, these broken children that are all recovering from all their childhood trauma and life trauma, maybe we treat them a little bit differently. Why do we treat children so well, but we treat adults so bad? Why? There's no difference.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're probably right.
Adults have, you know, more responsibility, but they're still broken.
I think that's the thing. I think everyone just puts all these. We just created this society.
But just being mean to them is only making it worse.
You think so?
Yeah, that's why we have school shootings and all kinds of stuff. These kids just give up. They have no hope. If you don't have hope, you have nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I think you need a little bit of, you know, a little bit of stress.
You need, yeah. I think
But the counter to that is someone that can give you some hope.
In the Bible, he gives us problems and stress to keep us closer to him, because if we have it so good, then why would we need him?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I was talking about this the other day about, you know, like hitting rock bottom. That's the best, because then you're like, then you've really realized it, and then you can kind of change your life for real.
So military people, I feel like sometimes also have a lot more grasp of that, because they see horrible, horrific things. So they're like, y'all are a bunch of spoiled, rotten brats over here. Quit acting like that.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
I know it's true. I have so many military friends. I grew up in a military town, and I've just always had military friends, I guess, because I grew up with grandparents who partially raised me, and they lived through the Great Depression. So I have a little bit different mindset than people I know. It's hard for me to make friends sometimes, like true relationships, because I just don't have that mentality of being materialistic and not giving a shit.
Yeah. My wife, she gets mad at me all the time because for her, something will be in her mind, she considers something an emergency, and then she's, needs me to come help her out. And I'm like, what's the deal here? Like, nobody has their arm blown off, and, like, the bills are getting paid.
Right.
Like, why are we stressing out about this?
But you also have to understand that her perspective, just because it's not as similar as yours, doesn't mean it's still not important to her. And that's something I've had to tell myself, especially with my kids, is just because I don't feel like it's important doesn't mean it's not important to them, and their feelings are still valid. So I still need to listen to their feelings and validate their feelings and try to understand their perspective, and then talk to them about it and say, look, okay, I get where you're coming from. I know that this is freaking you out or this is stressing you out, but at the end of the day, it's not that important.
Yeah, see, I have this horrible
You're not going to
saying.
remember this in 2 weeks. You're not going to remember this in a month. So, the kids are fighting over something,
Yeah, like I said, I have this horrible saying at my house that no one cares about your feelings.
Aww.
That I would tell my boys all the time.
But that is true.
It's definitely true.
I feel like that about real estate in general. Nobody cares about your feelings. We're here to do a job. We all want to close. We all want to make money. At the end of the day, yes, buying a home is emotional. But at the end, it
doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be that emotional.
Yeah.
It needs to be practical, and it needs to be factual, and it needs to be financial, and we need to get to the closing line and all just keep a straight head and be kind and respectful to each other.
That's pretty hard though. Like when people are buying a house, even on
They're so emotional.
even on the commercial side, where it's like, okay, here's the numbers, here's the bottom line. Does it make sense? People are just like, I don't know. It's like, I thought this was an investment property, or this is a commercial deal, or whatever.
And you're like, why are you flipping out? And then 9 times out of 10, it's a misunderstanding of communication.
Well, I feel like that's everything is always a misunderstanding of communication.
All relationships break because marriages fail, friendships and family relationships, business relationships. Most of the time, it's a misunderstanding. Sometimes people just suck, and you don't need to be friends with them anymore.
But that's because people are operating in their emotional mind. Mm-hmm. That's what I tell my boys. No one cares about your feelings. Let's figure out why you're feeling this way.
That's a very military thing to do.
And then let's do something about it. You can.
It's also a very man thing. Like, my husband wasn't in the military, but he grew up on a farm, and nobody cares about your feelings. It's sunrise. You need to go to work because we have to eat.
Yeah.
So, and his dad too was an older dad, and he was born like in 41 or something.
It's a great way to go about things.
It is a much better way to look at things, but you have to understand too that kids have emotions naturally, and women have emotions naturally. We are built that way because we're supposed to be nurturing.
Yeah, you're nurturers.
We're supposed to be. There's a flip side to everything. Yes, we have too many feelings sometimes about something that we probably don't need to have feelings about. At the same time, we have to have that nurturing aspect, or we'd be running around.
You guys can't do both at the same time, you don't think?
It's a balance. It's a balance.
Yeah.
There's things we can do to balance that. Prayer, grounding, diet, sunlight. I mean, all the things that we should be doing anyway will help regulate those emotions.
You must have saw the same Facebook post I saw today.
No. What did it say?
Some guy posted something about, on my phone's turned off, something about medicine, and it was all like sunlight, grounding, salt in your
The natural medicine.
Yeah. That's all I told him. I was like, this is all natural stuff.
Celtic salt.
Nobody cares about it because you can't make money off things that you can go do grounding and get sunlight and
You can.
hydrate.
You could have like goat yoga out barefoot.
Yeah, you can, but that's what I'm saying. I guess my point was you can't stop somebody from like going into the sunlight. And
Oh, you mean the pharmaceutical companies can't make money?
Yeah. I was like, that's why nobody pushes this stuff or nobody cares about it, because you can't make money by having people put salt in their food or
doctor would never tell you that.
grounding and stuff like that.
But you look at like all these ancient societies, the Native Americans, the Inca Indian, I mean, all these ancient Egyptians, all of them. I mean, Chinese medicine. I know for a fact the Native Americans, when they were sick, they went out and laid out in the sun.
Yeah.
It cured them in a day.
That's what I do when I get sick. I go stand out in the sun.
Go stand out in the sun and sweat it out.
And then when I'm hungover, my other thing I do is I go walk barefoot through my neighborhood.
Grounding.
Get some sunlight. Yeah,
but you can't walk on the concrete. The concrete doesn't really work.
I try to walk in the grass.
In the grass, yeah.
But
we have a sandy yard in the woodlands, all of our yard, and I have a spot where my dog rolls a lot.
Yeah.
So it's bald. it's bare. And I can just go right there, and the sun comes up and shines through the trees right there. So I just stand in the sand and drink.
It works.
You're supposed to drink like hydrogen water first thing.
Okay.
And then do my Celtic salt, and then I drink my coffee. I also have a ginger lemon cayenne drinks that I buy at Costco. I could make them, but
Also, when I get sick, my wife makes me these lemon, ginger, and honey like drinks, I guess. Mm-hmm. They were pretty good.
Yeah, put a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there.
I was listening to this doctor scientist, and he says the only reason that all these artificial medicines work is because you already have a receptor in your body for some natural component that's already found on the earth. If you didn't, it wouldn't. All these manufactured medicines wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So there's already a natural remedy, is his theory, to everything you would ever need.
There is. I believe so. I also believe that people will get less sick if they just stop. If they start, if you were doing all those things anyway, you wouldn't get sick anyway. You wouldn't have as much stress. You'd have emotional regulation. You'd be able to handle stress. And then, like, the guy we had on last week, John, he does the ice plunges in the morning.
Yeah, I used to do those too.
And he was like, after you do that, nothing else throughout your day is going to matter, because you already know. Like, there's nothing worse than taking an ice bath.
And they're not even that bad. Once you kind of get used to them.
That's what he said.
Do
you do ice baths?
I used to go to the Lifetime Fitness in the Woodlands,
Mm-hmm.
and they have the cold plunge thing in there.
I wish they would do that at the YMCA. We go to the YMCA.
So that's why I like going there. It was just super expensive, so I quit going. But I do like 3-minute cold plunge in the mornings.
How much is Lifetime?
For my wife and I, it was like $380 or something a month.
A month?
Yeah.
That is kind of expensive. We do like the family plan at the YMCA. It's right next to our house. I mean, it's right by my stepkids and our house, so it's right there. Like, we can meet my stepkids there even when we don't have them.
Yeah.
So it's just convenient, but I think it's only like $120 a month or something for all of us.
I just switched to Planet Fitness. It's $25.
But I do the sauna, and then I go work out.
That's what I like.
Sometimes I do cold water showers. They say, and you can put your hands in ice, like a bucket or like a bowl. You just fill a bowl with ice water and stick your hands.
I heard people doing that and just dunk their head in there.
Yeah, you can do that too. They say even your hands, because your hands are nerve receptors, huge nerve receptors. Your feet too. You put your feet in there.
Well, I'd see a lot of guys. They'd go in there and they're sitting there like this with their hands out of the water. I'm like, dude, put your hands in the water. And they're like, it's cold. I'm like, half your body's already in there. Just put your hands in the water. And they're like, it feels a lot colder.
It does. Oh. Your hands and your feet. Your feet regulate the temperature. Your feet and your head regulate temperature. So that's why you wear a beanie and shoes, and then you're okay, right? And it keeps the heat from escaping.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it works. I'd get in there.
They teach a lot of this in Boy Scouts. So.
Yeah, so when I was in 5th grade, when I was in elementary school, I was in a pretty good like Cub Scout thing. It was like all the kids from all the baseball team and all my buddies. We go do all these cool campouts and stuff.
Yeah, my son got his Arrow of Light, and then he made it all the way to first class, and then he quit. And my younger one, we've talked about him joining. He's 12. He didn't get his Arrow of Light, but he could just start at 12 and finish.
I feel like you got to be in a good group. I try to get my boys into it in Tennessee.
If anybody
and they
knows
just
a good
anything.
group near the Woodlands, please let me know, or even Magnolia. We're really close to Magnolia. We're in the back.
Yeah.
So, or Wood Forest. We're right next to Wood Forest.
Just get the book and have them do the stuff.
You can do that. You can do that. You have to be a part of a troop, though, I think.
Yeah, probably.
There's a lot of rules. A lot. And they're very strict. And you have to have everything signed off and everything logged. And it's strict. But it's so good for the kids. Like, my kids learn so much from Scouts, like survival skills and respect and being thrifty and, cleaning up. Like, when you leave a campsite, it's cleaner when you left than when you got there. And opening doors, and if you see a piece of trash in the parking lot, pick it up and throw it away, and put your basket up. And if you see somebody else's basket, put it up. Or if you see an old lady, you help her. Like, they just learn. It's not just Scouts. I mean, being a Christian, having good parents help too.
Yeah.
But the Scouts really enforces that.
That was like, I had another rule with my kids is we'd be like, if we were walking around, I'd tell them, like, pick some trash up if they saw it. Right? Because I was like, you live here too, so just clean up your community.
Don't mess with Texas, man.
But
remember what happened to the whole "Don't mess with Texas" in the 80s and 90s?
That's where it came from, to keep people from littering.
Campaign.
Yeah.
What happened to it? Where's that campaign? I want that campaign back.
It's still there, isn't it? People say that all the time. Don't mess with Texas.
Yeah, but they used to advertise it like crazy.
Maybe people quit messing with Texas and they got rid of it.
Oh, no, they have not. It's getting dirty everywhere. Have you been to Houston? Blech.
I don't go down there.
You don't leave Montgomery? I don't go into Harris County very often.
Yeah. So that's why the aliens aren't there either.
If the aliens aren't going there and the Sasquatch isn't going
Yeah.
there, why are we going there?
Plus, I tell my boys, I said, if you kick a piece of trash that's on the ground or something, like a can, I said, you own that now. You got to
You don't
go
ever
pick
take
it
them
up.
to like an Astros game or a concert?
That's the only reason I'll go down there.
That's what way you go.
We'll go to football games. We go to baseball games. I haven't been to the rodeo. I think we go to the rodeo.
We went to the rodeo
next
once,
year.
never again. Way too crowded. We went to the fair. I was like, we're going to get shot or stabbed. We got to go.
Yeah.
Super ghetto.
For me, there's just nothing good to go down there for. Everything I need to
People
go.
were
If I want
just
to go to
getting
concerts,
drunk.
I go to the Woodlands.
And I don't want to be around that. That's when people get in fights and stab each other.
Yeah.
I don't need to be around that. Nope. I don't
I'm
like
on-
crowds. I've been
I'm
to
with you.
Fiesta too many times in San Antonio. Gets a little crazy. I lived in Brownsville for a little bit. There's a lot of crazy stuff down there.
I've been going to Dallas a lot lately. I've been trying to convince my wife we should move to Dallas.
Fort Worth, not Dallas. Fort Worth.
Well, I was in like McKinney.
We're Fort Worth people. We love Fort Worth. McKinney's nice.
Yeah.
My cousin lives in Kennedale. We have family up in Fort Worth. My husband lived in Fort Worth for 14 years. Our main, so we are founded, or I say we, the company that I work for outside of this job is founded in Fort Worth. It's
Okay.
called Worth National Insurance is the underwriter that we own. So we were big Fort Worth. My husband graduated from TCU, and so we're big Fort Worth fans. I'm not so much the other sports there fan. We won't say names.
Dallas just seems like it's a lot cleaner place, especially. I think just like in general, it just seems.
You haven't gone to the right
nice.
parts of Dallas then.
To seem like it's cleaner.
Well, cleaner than Houston?
Yeah.
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 For sure. It's cleaner than Houston, but it's still kind of ghetto.
It doesn't seem like it takes much though to be cleaner than Houston.
No. That's probably the dirtiest city I've ever been to besides New Orleans. Or LA. LA is pretty dirty.
LA's horrible.
I've never been to New York, so
I was in New
couldn't tell
Orleans
you.
not too long ago. When was I there? Last year?
Is it clean?
Wasn't that bad.
I haven't been since Harvey.
Wasn't that bad.
Was Harvey hit New Orleans again,
I don't
right?
remember when Harvey was. Was that 2011?
I think so.
Harvey?
I went to New Orleans, I think, right before that.
We're going again in February, so I'll let you know. But
I love the food.
I didn't think it was that bad.
And I
I saw
love the
these street
ghosts.
performers. The street performers were like cleaning the street, the spot they were on. Granted, I don't go to Bourbon Street like at nighttime. If
Yeah.
it's like after
We
10
went
o'clock
during
at
the
night, I'm
day.
not going.
We went during the day. I'd never been, so we just wanted to check it out. It smelled bad.
Go at like 2
smelled
o'clock
so
in the
bad.
morning. It's gross.
No, I mean, like, it was hot, so, like, I feel like all the puke and pee and stuff, you could just smell it worse because it was hot.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's gross. And so I was like, let's go. But I wanted to go see all these places that were haunted, and we
Yeah.
went to a few. I didn't get to go to all of them. Like, I wanted to go to the cemetery, but I'm a retired photographer-ish. I still do photography for, like, my kids' sports and fun stuff.
Have you been to that place in Old Town Spring?
I haven't.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The Wench.
Is it
Am I saying it
haunted?
right? I think they say it's haunted.
Well, I caught a lot of stuff on camera, and I actually captured this mist following us down the stairs of this hotel that the people that work there refused to go up there.
In New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was this entity following us down. It was weird. I have a lot of little entities
Yeah.
on camera.
So go to I'm pretty sure it's called the Wench. Does that sound right? Old Town Spring? It's an old place. It's right by the train
gonna look
tracks.
it up.
It's burnt down a couple times. Wensch. Probably saying it wrong. Anyways, you know where Old Town Spring is, right?
Kind of. I've been there.
Do you know where the
once.
Caboose place is? Oh. Anyways, go all the way down before you hit the train tracks. It's on the right hand side. I think it's painted black, maybe. But I think it burnt down, or half of it
People
burnt
tell
down.
me never to cross the train tracks.
How are you gonna get to the other side?
Well, because they say that it's
Go underneath,
like once you get over there that it's dangerous.
like the neighborhood is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't ever go that far. But anyways, this place burnt down, I guess. But they say there's like ghosts or something upstairs. My wife and my mom, I think, both had some like.
Wench's brothers?
Once you.
WNSCHE.
Yeah.
What is it? W U
NSCHE.
NSCHE. Interesting. Oh,
Yeah, it's been there forever.
I'm gonna go check it out.
But it's supposed to be haunted. Go there. The food's
Friday
good.
the 13th. Ooh.
Is that coming up?
Yeah. Dick's going to Austin to do his
Oh, that's right.
party, his horror film party. But my uncle would love that. My uncle used to film horror films in Austin.
That'd be pretty cool.
He was like on B-rated films, and you could buy them at like Best Buy and stuff. They were terrible. No offense, Uncle Jeff, I love you, but I don't. They were odd to me. I was a kid, so I got a glimpse of a couple. There was like naked chicks running through the woods and stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, not for me.
I feel like that's the thing though with like B-rated horror flicks.
Yeah, hung out with the Quentin Tarantino and the Robert. What's his name?
Robert Rodriguez. Yeah.
Those guys. I met Quentin Tarantino a few times. He used to come into this place I worked at, but
Okay.
he told me I was a badass chick one time.
There
It
you
was
go.
like one of the greatest moments of my life as a kid.
Okay.
I was like in my 20s, so I was like, oh my God. He's like, you're a badass chick. I was like, thank you. I
Yeah.
didn't even know what to do. I almost peed my pants.
I think that just saying thank you is probably the right thing to do, right?
Yeah. And then after that, I was like, I just treated him like a regular person. Because before you have like, he was my first famous person I'd met.
Yeah.
And so I had like that star. Oh, Kevin Costner came to our town. He filmed some movie with Casper the Ghost kid in my hometown.
Okay.
And everybody was like trying to meet him. So I saw him from like a distance, from like here to the door or whatever. But I never got to like go meet him. But
Oh, is that the movie where he's a
he's like on the
Latter-day
run.
Saints?
He's like
He kidnaps this kid?
He's like dressed as Casper the Ghost, the kid is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good movie.
I haven't seen it in a long time. My parents were driving by. We had a 55 Chevy, and they were driving by, and they stopped them and asked them if they could use the truck for the movie.
Oh, cool.
But I think they ended up, something was wrong. They ended up using, we had a window that was busted out from the hail.
Yeah.
It had just happened, and I think they didn't end up using the truck because of that. I'm not sure what happened, but, or maybe they did. I haven't seen that movie, really. Maybe I should go back and watch it.
It's pretty good. I think he kidnaps this kid who comes from like a, is it the Latter-day Saints or a Mormon? They don't like celebrate any holidays or something like that.
Oh, the Church of Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
So I grew up Church of Christ. People get them confused. I grew up Church of Christ like Footloose, and then there's Church of Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is it Mormons? No, it's what are they? Church.
Yeah. LDS, Latter-day Saints.
Yeah, what is Church of Christ Latter-day Saints? What religion is that?
I don't think
It's
they're
not
Mormons.
It's because the Mormons come to your door. They're always wearing like a backpack and a bike.
Yeah.
And a suit. They're nice. They're always nice. I have them carry my grocery. What is it?
Mormon.
Latter-day Saints are Mormons?
LDS Church of or Mormon.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, okay. I didn't
The
know.
more you know.
Joseph Smith.
Oh yeah, he has the extra book. He's the
The Golden Tablets.
the new disciple or something.
Yeah. I haven't read that one
He
yet.
claims he was a disciple.
But yeah, anyways,
I
he
don't know much
kidnaps
about
this
it.
kid, I think, who's a Latter-day Saint.
Oh.
And the kid, I think, is telling him, I think Kevin Costner maybe gets him this costume because his kid's never celebrated a holiday. So Kevin Costner's like, okay, yeah, when's your birthday? You can celebrate your birthday. Or
And he says he always wanted to be Casper the Ghost.
Yeah, I'm probably screwing it up, but from what I remember,
Yeah, because they
that's
don't
like the premise
celebrate
of the
any of
movie.
that stuff. They can't drink caffeine and
I wonder why.
a bunch of stuff. I mean, it's just strict. A caffeine is a drug, and
It's natural,
I don't know.
but is that biblical? Where are they
Maybe.
pulling that
I don't know.
from?
You're not supposed to eat pork. That's in the Bible. You're not supposed to wear wool or cotton together. That's in the Bible. You're not supposed to wear synthetic fibers. It messes up your frequency, which I do frequency scans now, and I'm
I
starting.
know. I'm waiting on you. You gotta scan me. I want to get
Well,
scanned.
I was supposed to come this Wednesday, but I got to talk to Donna after we leave here. Actually,
Okay.
the Donna,
The Donna. Yeah.
I love her. I got to go talk to her to make sure that we're still good for Wednesday because they said something about there might be a conflict. So I don't know. I mean, I can always just do it whenever you're free. I don't have to do it at the office.
Okay.
But I'm starting to, the more I'm learning about it and the more that I'm researching, and then especially I always try to compare stuff with the Bible, I'm like, whoa, this is legit. This is crazy.
It's a frequency scan. That's what it does.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? How does it work?
It sends frequency through your body, so it picks up anything and everything. So it picks up your emotions.
Is
with
this
the
like the
voice command.
Scientology thing? Like you hold the two cans or whatever, or
I
what?
don't know what that is.
Scientology?
I know it kind of. I know I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it.
So there's two different things in Scientology that they.
Are you a
they-
Scientologist?
No, I didn't. But They used to have these guys at the mall who would try to sell you the Dianetics book. That's the other like component of it, I think.
Okay.
And in Dianetics, they have this theory, I guess, and I'm probably getting this wrong for all the Scientologists watching this. They can correct me later. But you hold like these two cans, and it can kind of like sense your vibration or your frequency or something like that, and it can like tell you that you're out of whack. But there's a whole book on it.
That's very possible.
So I was at the mall, and this guy gave me the book. My two buddies were like, "Don't get that book." And I was like, "Well, I'm at least going to get this free book. I can at least read about it, and then I know what I'm talking about. And then I can choose to believe it or not." But they talk about maybe you were a kid and you like fell out of your chair and hit your head, and at the same time, like a glass fell off the table, like when you tip the chair over. So when you get these, your subconscious mind like records all these events at one time. And it can't make sense of all the things that happen. So it associates like the sound of breaking glass with head pain. So maybe you're out somewhere and you hear glass breaking or glass breaks. It might cause a headache because your subconscious mind doesn't remember what happened in this instance when you were a child. So you can have all these like stressors and traumas in life that result from your subconscious mind misreading events that took place in your childhood. So the other half of that is like they go in there and they like organize these things in your subconscious mind.
That seems a little weird.
To keep you from having.
So the frequency scan, like you can do a voice scan, like you talk into it and it reads your voice, your vibrations in your voice, and it gives you like a feedback on what it's detecting.
Yeah.
But it'll give you like already like music, like tones you can listen to that'll help kind of balance those out.
Yeah.
And so, but they've been, Chinese medicine and all different
Yeah, I went and did a sound bath one time in Arizona.
So they have been using sound frequencies to cure people for thousands of years. This scan is just doing it digitally. And then same, like it runs a frequency through your body to try to correct things like allergies or health issues. And it can detect things like if you're having diabetes, liver function, injuries, ligaments, inflammation. It detects all kinds. I usually run like 3 or 4 different scans, and so depending on what you want to do, but we're gonna do all of them. And then you go back through every month and you rerun it and put those frequencies, and it starts healing your body so that everything starts leveling out. And
interesting.
some of those things too, it'll tell you not to eat this. Like my husband said, no cheddar cheese. He eats so much cheddar cheese that he's overloaded in cheddar cheese, so you need to cut back.
Yeah.
I just did a scan on a friend of mine. Not going to name any names, but he likes to drink and have a good time. He's a great guy. He's not like some raging alcoholic, I'm not saying that, but he likes to drink and have a good time.
Yeah.
He's super fun. And he's stressed out. He has a stressful stressful job. He's very successful and has a lot on his plate. And I was like, you need to start grounding and doing all the things and telling him about the Yucca app and eating healthier. But I was like, you need to cut back on your alcohol. Like your liver and your kidney function is really off, like way high. And so you probably want to cut back on the alcohol. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to like advise you as a doctor or nurse. But from, that's why I tell people like go to your doctor. But this is from kind of common sense. If your kidney and liver is off.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
Lay off the alcohol for a little bit.
Sodas, I see that with people with that drink a lot of soda. Their gallbladder is terrible, or just a lot of sugar, tea, things like that. That'll mess up your gallbladder.
Interesting.
Bad. So, diet, exercise, sunlight, grounding, meditation, prayer. All these things are, super helpful in balancing out all of your frequencies.
Have you ever seen when I think this was like around World War II when they were taking all these bells from churches and stuff?
Yeah.
I think they were trying to say it was because they need the metal to make ammo, but all the theorists are thinking that these big bells would emit these frequencies. So that's like, you could go to church and they're ringing all these bells and the acoustics and everything, and they had all these healing effects.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I like when they talk about how all the Nazis were on meth.
That's probably true.
Oh, it's documented. They were... Yeah, there's super evil stuff going on in our world.
Well, they give that stuff to people in the military so they can stay awake longer and stay in the fight longer.
That's what they were doing.
Yeah.
And but there was also some good stuff they were doing back then. Apparently they were giving people mushrooms and stuff like that, microdosing people to help them with trauma, and then suddenly they they banned hemp and all this stuff, which is super weird.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see if all that's getting ready to change.
I think so. I think we have too much. There's too much proof. There's too much evidence to prove that, what happened, and documents of what went wrong, and it was all political and control, and those lizard people.
And you can't make any money on holistic remedies,
You can, like essential oils, but not like they're making money. Not the type of money they're making.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
No, you can't. And we shouldn't be making money doing that. We should make money helping people. You can make money helping people. You can be a realtor and help people, which is what you're doing. You're a realtor.
Yeah.
You help people buy a home, which is one of their greatest investments of their life. Otherwise, they're renting. And you can help them get through that process from the time that they think that they can't at a 560 credit score. And, especially VA people, I would definitely refer some VA people to you, since you are very familiar with that.
A lot of people in the military have no idea about the VA, by the way,
I know.
which is interesting.
That podcast we had last week cleared up a lot with the loans.
Yeah.
That's huge, huge. And I would highly recommend sharing that with your clients, that podcast from last week. We have shorts and reels too. You can just share the short or the reel. They don't want to listen to a whole hour of us talking about ice baths and all that stuff,
Yeah.
It is good information, and it's I'm trying to help people get better so that they can be successful. I want to come to the office and do AO scans on everybody and get them healthy, and get them set up on the Yucca app, and get them set up on the
That's the one you showed me about, that, like Red Bull and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Title app, which we just came out with a new calculator. It's a commission calculator for not offering commission, like it will automatically show you like different scenarios of how to negotiate it to your client, and it brands it to you, and it's literally the click of a button.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So these are really helpful tools to help the clients understand how to navigate these different things, and help the agents, be more successful, make their job easier, because that's what we're supposed to do, is all help each other. You're helping, your client, and we're helping you, and we're helping the lender, and the lender's helping you, and you're helping the lender, and we're all supposed to be in this together.
You think so?
And that's what I
Sometimes it's hard to just get other agents to answer their phone.
Sometimes. I mean, I'm guilty on a rare occasion. I'll be gone next week at the farm.
Well, when I don't have any, and I don't have any listings now, but I usually don't answer. If I don't have any listings and I don't recognize the number, I usually don't answer the phone.
Oh, but it could be somebody calling you to get a listing.
It could be. It could be somebody calling to tell me I won the lottery, or, but usually it's not.
Yeah.
My wife just won the Thai lottery the other day.
She what?
She won the Thai lottery.
Really?
I don't know. They have an illegal lottery over there.
I like your wife. She tells you like it is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you don't have business cards?
Yeah.
What kind of realtor are you?
She has. I give them to her. You guys got purses and stuff, which are very convenient for playing.
Y'all coming tomorrow?
To what?
To the third Tuesday happy hour.
Oh, I didn't know. No, send me are you gonna send a thing out?
Yeah, I'm gonna send a
the
reminder
yard
this
house?
afternoon. Yeah,
Okay, I'll be there.
I'll send a reminder tomorrow or this evening. I was gonna send it this morning, but I got caught up on helping somebody do a business card.
Okay.
If you need a business card, let me know. Like a digital business card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, I do need one now.
Well,
'cause my
I'm
wife says I don't have
getting
any.
the sign over here. We gotta go bye.
Uh-oh. Okay.
It goes by fast, right?
Yeah. No.
That's why I gotta have people on multiple times.
Right. Yeah. That's an hour. Get an hour.
It's an hour.
Oh, yeah,
I need a Joe Rogan 3-hour. You need to open up some time for me, Dick. He's like, oh God, we can't listen to you.
Yeah,
for
y'all
that
need to do
long.
an after hours, longer format.
Yeah, but hopefully Dick will be there tomorrow too. Anyway, well, on the show it will be yesterday because we don't air till Wednesday at 1.
Okay.
But yeah, so third Tuesday every month, Pacific Yard House. We do a happy hour. Come meet some agents and good lenders and good food. And we have a lot of people that are in the industry, whether it's plumbing or electrician or renovations. I vet most of the people, so
Send me a thing real quick, and then I'll put it out to all our agents, see if they go.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show today.
Yeah, it's been fun. Loved it.
It was really nice getting to know you a little bit, and you're just so open about stuff. I feel like I can just talk to you forever.
I would say if I learned anything probably from the military, there's like so many other worse things that could happen.
Yeah.
You know, you should only worry about bad things when it's actually happening.
Yeah. Most things won't even matter. You won't even remember.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, this is Jason Mayo. He's an open book, if you want to call him. Maybe he'll answer his phone.
That's all right.
All his information is in the description. If you need to get a hold of him, you want him to list your house, you want to buy some commercial property, you want to buy some land, any of those things. He's with Ferris Realty, located right down the street from us. They have a beautiful mural on the side of the building.
Can't miss it.
I love Conroe. But yeah, call Jason. He'll help you out.
That's all right. Call me.
All right. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.